Hello, namaste, and good evening to each one of you. Hopefully, all of you are doing well today. Thanks for spending Tuesday evening with us. It is a great pleasure for me to welcome all of you. We are here with a powerful session on Adobe Spark by Google Educator Group GEG Delhi West India in collaboration with GEG Nagoya, Japan. I would like to take this opportunity to wish all the teachers a very happy World Teachers' Day. The United Nations World Teachers' Day is celebrated worldwide for the admiration of teachers for their special contribution to the society. It is rightly said that effective teachers are constantly learning. Indeed, teachers are lifelong learners because learning never stops, neither for them nor for students. Today, we have a very, very special guest who is joining us from Japan. I request Amit sir to introduce the guest speaker and expert for the day.
Yeah, sure. So, welcome, Mr. Nathan. Nathan Gilliard teaches MYP individuals and societies and DP history at Nagoya International School in Japan and has been teaching in a one to one environment for the last 20 years. A former technology coach back in the classroom, he is an educational technology geek who employs a wide range of digital tools to differentiate and enrich learning. Nate is a Google for Education certified trainer, Google certified innovator, leader, GEG Nagoya, a Google Earth education expert, and YouTube certified educator. He has been a featured speaker, blog contributor for EdTech teams, app events, and has trained international school facilities in Japan and presented around the Asia Pacific region. Most welcome, Nate, to the waiting session on Adobe Spark. Welcome you once again. And at the same time, I welcome all the viewers who have joined us right now. I request all the viewers to kindly put forward your questions. We are going to take that in the last 10 minutes as a Q&A session. So without any further ado, Nate, the session is all yours. We'll be at the backstage. Do call me if required. Thank you and welcome. Please.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for having me, Nidhi and Amit. Really, really appreciate this. I absolutely love Adobe Spark. Now, yes, I'll tell you about myself again in a little more detail in a moment. But just as said, yeah, please, I'm watching your questions and comments. If there's any particular question that's timely, I'll get to see it on my phone here. So as we go through, please post your questions there. But we will have time for Q&A towards the end as well. Now, I'm not only excited about doing, talking about Adobe Spark and demonstrating how it works, but also my grade 9 students today. I got one half of two classes, together with their new accounts for Adobe Spark today, and they were like, "Whoa, this is like really easy." So I'm quite excited. Proof was today in my own classroom that Spark is a great tool for teachers and for students, not just grade 9. But anyway, welcome to the session, Adobe. I'm not going to kind of reiterate what Amit already did with the introduction, but I will point out that I am an Adobe education leader. And we'll tell you later how you can become an Adobe creative educator. I know both Nidhi and Amit are level 1 creative educators. We're working towards level 2. And we'll talk about that for everyone a little bit later. Some great free professional development from Adobe for those teachers who want to learn. I'm not going to read through this because you've kind of got the idea of what the session today is about. You'll be shared this slides deck either sometime through the session or at the end. You can read through yourself, but I do want to point out we're going to focus on 3 different elements of Adobe Spark. There are 3 parts of Adobe Spark. One is Adobe Spark Post, which is where you do graphic design. Another is Adobe Spark Video, which, as it sounds, you make a video. And Adobe Spark Page, which is for making basic websites, but all of these have really nice features to them. And it's designed in a way that helps you be a designer without trying to be like a creative genius, right? So those are the 3 things we're going to focus on today. Just looking over here. There are a few things I do feel it's important to point out before we jump into examples and then how to. Whenever we're creating anything, right, we want to be sure that we're honoring copyright. Now, what's nice about Adobe is that all of their images that you use in videos and the music, anything you use for graphic design, it's all cited for you. So the credit is actually put somewhere, usually at the end of a video or the bottom of a web page. And the images you use for graphics are copyright free. If you use your own images in any of these tools, remember, you want to put your citation there. You know, copyright is something we should model as teachers and remind our students to do, right? Adobe Spark Post has an in-color app matching feature. I encourage you to use it. Videos got built-in royalty-free music and images. Use it. Same thing with all the video and images and music. It's all copyright free. But another important thing kind of at the bottom here is when we design something or create something or tell a story, we should be thinking about the people that we're representing, because sometimes we're telling stories that are not our own, right? If I was to talk about, you know, the Mughal Empire, for example, you know, I'm not from India. It's not my story to tell. So I'd have to be careful about how I represent, you know, the Ashoka or the Mughals or, you know, whatever. I'm a history teacher, by the way. And I have been to India. Absolutely love it. So I want to first give you some examples of Adobe Spark Post, and then I'm going to show you how it works. So what you're looking at here is a thumbnail for a YouTube video. I actually used this in particular to create the thumbnail for a video I was using to be a certified Adobe Creative Educator Level 2. But I wanted to point it out because the black and white actually was a color photo, very easily changed it. The color you see on the left side, that actually came from the video theme that I used. And it was just simple to use a color picker, like an eyedropper, to change it. It really fits well with the video that I made in Adobe Spark Video. And I used Adobe Spark Post to get the exact dimensions that I needed. And we'll show you that. So if you're creating a YouTube channel, you can use Adobe Spark. See the connection between Adobe and Google, right? You can create your thumbnails through Adobe Spark really, really quickly. Probably took me about 5 minutes to do this thing. Now, here are some sample graphics. You'll notice that these are all squares. The one on the left, I had the students create a meme, you know, a meme in history, something that you might put on Instagram or something that you might actually use on your phone. Get your students to do that. Yes, you can do Spark on your phone. And if it's something they might actually post on Instagram that they made in school, just quickly check in the thing here. All right, so thank you for the welcome, everyone. Good evening. So, for example, with graphics, on the left side, that's one I designed on my own. I just, you know, put in the background image and the text. But what I did was choose the square size because I wanted it to go, it was aiming to put it on Instagram or Twitter, which looks nicer on your phone, right? In the middle, we do an election campaign in my grade 9 classes every year. What I want to highlight is this circular text. Sometimes people say, how do you get the circular text? I don't know how to do it. And what can I use to do it? Super easy with Adobe and free, right? And this is actually a transparent background. Creating transparent backgrounds is pretty simple with Adobe. And on the right side here, this also was for, you know, a certification I was doing, but it came from a template. So you can get these collage templates as well. And you just have to quickly change the images. A few more ideas. If you look on the left side, this comes again from another assignment I did with students where they created a video. I gave them the choice to use anything. Some of them did use Spark Video, but they went into Adobe Spark Post to create the thumbnail they were going to make on for YouTube, but also the QR code here. We actually created these posters about a conflict in the world, like Black Lives Matter protest, the economy in Venezuela that people were protesting about, the war in Syria, for example. And what they did was create an engaging poster that we could put around the school using Adobe Spark Post. And then we used the exact same poster as the thumbnail for our YouTube playlist. And so basically when people scanned the QR code, it took them to the video, in this case on Syria. Another thing is one that I just created for a poster, a nice A3 size in my classroom about, you know, social justice, really. Again, just a really quick way to create good graphics that you can use for different reasons, whether it's social media on your phone, YouTube thumbnails, a YouTube banner, an infographic, for example. This is one that one of my students created. How to take political action. That was a good assignment. And also my Google Classroom banner for my history classes. So your banners for YouTube and things like that. You can choose the dimensions you want when you use Adobe Spark Post. So if you're kind of like, oh, what's the size of that YouTube banner, which used to drive me nuts? Nice and easy now with Adobe Spark. Okay, so I'm going to jump out of this. Feel free again to post your questions and comments, but now I want to jump in and be sure we get to have a look at how you kind of use this stuff. So, excuse me, this is a demo, so it's a fair bit of talking here. Now, when you log into Adobe Spark, again, remember it's free, but you don't get all the features for free, but you get most of them. So this is what your dashboard looks like. You can see I want to create an Instagram story or a post or Facebook or a photo collage. I will point out that a presentation is what they call their web page, Adobe Spark page. And a slideshow is what they call Adobe, like their Adobe Spark video. You will see Adobe Spark portfolio as well. This is my personal account here. So you'll see that come with certain accounts as well. I do want to quickly point out here on the left side, as you navigate, you can quickly click and look for your projects. It works in the cloud, so it does take a little bit of time to load sometimes. But notice here I've created folders for my projects, so you can organize the things. You can see that I do use Adobe Spark Post, Adobe Spark for a lot of things. My Adobe coursework, my TED Ed Club, my classes, right? Individuals and societies. And I even make stuff for Google Educator groups in Adobe. You can create libraries and things. So if you click on libraries, you can create, specific libraries where everything goes, kind of like a folder. But then you can invite people to browse through your library. I don't really use that much. So I want to go home. And so you can see here, I've got my different choices of what I want to create, right? I'm going to click on the arrow here. Now I can create a custom size. I can actually create my own brand in Adobe if I want, meaning I create my own logo. If you have a YouTube channel, maybe you create your own logo, right? Not going to go to that right now. What I am going to do is choose custom size. So I'm going to click on this, and you can see here that now I can choose my width and my height, right? And I can choose pixelation or how many inches or whatever. Now, if you want to click on standard, it'll give you some different standard sizes. Again, social profile. If it's a print, such as like a postcard that you're going to print from your home, that kind of thing. Again, social media posts and things that might be popular like Instagram and that kind of deal. You can choose. I'm going to stick with custom for now. Okay, so I'm going to click. I've chosen custom. I'm going to click next. And you notice I did not type any numbers in. You would type the size in that you want. So this is just kind of a standard size that I put in. Okay, and so now here I get a number of templates, right? So let's start with a template really quickly. Start with one that's fairly straightforward. Let's go with title swimwear. So it's a premium template. I could create from this template. Maybe I won't choose this one because you might not have a premium account. You notice premium accounts when you've got the little yellow, bar thing there. All right, so Halloween's coming. Let's do some trick or treat. I'm gonna create from this template. Let's make the theme Halloween. Actually, I was gonna do Napoleon, but I'm thinking, yeah, Halloween's kind of cool. And good evening to people that have kind of joined us. So Adobe Spark, we're showing you Adobe Spark Post and how you design graphics with Adobe Spark Post using a template right now, but we'll show you how to create it without the template and just from scratch if you want. It does take a little bit of time, folks, simply because we're working in the cloud here. I'm going to close a couple of tabs just so we speed a few things up. Now, I suspect maybe this template's going to be flashing or something, kind of like a GIF. So I might have to pull out of this one. just give us a brief moment. But while we're waiting, throw in the chat, how many people might be using Adobe Spark already. Tell us what you've created, that kind of thing. All right, so we've got our template here. So now what I can do is I can tap on the elements here. So notice I've tapped on the words. And so this is actually an image. It says trick or treat, but it's actually an image. So I could remove the background. I could replace things. I could put on filters if I want. So if I click on that, you notice how the trick or treat has changed a little bit. So you do have like a filtering feature. Let me take that out though. So we're not going to do that. I think I'm going to take the background out though, so that was actually an image. So now I'm going to add my own text. So let me close this. Now I want to highlight on the left side here. You can see that, whoa, see, I'm trying to zoom in here, but so you got your text, you can add photos and things like that. First thing I'm going to do is add text. So I'm going to click text and I'm going to scroll to look for some text that I like. I'm going to go with the one that I just used, or maybe I'm here for the booze. I kind of like that. Here for the booze. It's a Halloween theme kind of thing. So I've chosen the text that I like. This one is also from the premium account, but that's all right. I can give you an example of how they work. Let's say this was an invitation to a party, maybe. I don't know. So I've tapped on it, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. See how my text automatically kind of grows? And I'm going to drag and kind of put it a little bit into the middle because I can see with my purple, cross sign kind of thing. It helps me with the alignment. So I'm going to double click on it because now I want to do is change some of the word. I'm here for the booze kind of thing. This is supposed to be a bit playful about alcohol, but I'm not going to, jump into that. If I want, I can kind of change how it looks. Like I can curve it, for example. I can do that and see how it's changed it. I can do something like this. So I've clicked on where I can quickly change. Oh, I kind of like that one, actually. I'm going to keep that there. So notice here I've got two elements. This is actually a ghost that was part of the first set of text that I used. So if I don't like that little apple thingy, whatever it is there, I'm going to get rid of that. So I've tapped on it and got rid of it. Whoops. I'm just going to tap here. And notice that I've tapped on it and it gives me other options all of a sudden, right? All these different icons for ghosts and that kind of thing. I'm going to stick with this one, but just change the color. So notice as I've tapped on the icon, I have my color here. But if I mouse over, I get my color options. And I could use my color picker here. You can see that. And I could use the eyedropper color picker to choose something, a different color. I think with this, though, I'm going to try to just kind of find my own yellowish one. I think my yellows are a little bit better here. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not really totally happy with that. So you know what I'm going to do? Yeah, let me just make it a little bit orangey, or maybe even just go with that one. So I'm going to tap out of that, but you can play around with the colors. It's going to, if you tap here, notice it says my brand and it's my current palette. So I can kind of play around and make my own palette. I can make a custom palette or I can choose more. You can play around with this on your own and kind of see how it works. But I am going to tap on that again. Just double click on that. And if I want to replace it, I can replace it. But for now, I'm going to keep it like that. Maybe I'll turn it just a little bit, kind of be a little bit playful here. There we go. I'm going to go with that. I did something wrong, so I'm going to click there, undo. Let's see. I want to tap on the text here. So you see the text here doesn't, there's something with it here. I want to make it a little bit bigger. I want to play a bit more. Let's add a shadow to it. So again, when I tap on it, there's different things on the right sidebar that I can use. I'm going to jump out of this in a moment, but with the shadow, I'm going to just change my color, make it look a little bit more like this ghost right here. Now, we could spend a lot of time on this, but we want to look at Spark Video as well as Spark Page. So I'm going to show you how you could add a few more things here. So just on the side, you got photos. With all of Adobe's tools, you can find free photos just by clicking on photos and then click guest. Let me just look and see if we've got post, my mission, right? Creedy, yep, go. You're going to learn Adobe Spark Post. It's very Very easy. All right, so I've typed in ghost, so maybe I'm making a Halloween thing. So I can choose what one I think really kind of fits. In fact, if I don't like the background here, I'm just going to tap on it and doom. Let me just tap on that again. Sorry, let me go to there. Now I know that this is probably my background, so I'm going to go to photos, find free. My ghost is still there. I think I'm going to use this one. See what happens. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so that wasn't quite, it didn't, oh, you know why that didn't happen? Because I didn't choose replace. So I'm going to delete that. And I'm going to tap on the background again. And I can ungroup it, that kind of thing. I'm going to pull that to the top. Notice how I'm grabbing this. Yeah, and it's not allowing me to change my background. So there, I'm going to choose my image. I'm going to go back. There we go. And these are all copyright-free images, by the way. And so if it doesn't give it in the background, you can always just drag it, and then there we go. So you can see it's part of the background, but that one's kind of stuck. So I'm going to play around a little bit, but you get the idea. We don't have enough time just to work on post. I want to show you here icons, right? Ghost, cats, or maybe black cats, you know, for Halloween kind of thing. They have different design assets, for example. So you could look at stars, you could type in, you know, banners or that kind of thing. I encourage you to kind of play around. I am going to remove that background just because it's driving me nuts. Sorry, I have to do that. And you can create your own logos and things. Now, the question is, how do I download it? Okay, good evening, everyone. Hey, hey. All right, so when I'm done with it, if I click check, so let's say I've gone through, I've taken a little more time to edit. At the top, you're going to see where it says download. Now, here's the thing. If I want to collaborate with somebody, they can, you can click this and they can, you know, you can add the email address to whoever it is you want to work on this with you. So you can work on it with other people. But the thing is, you can't do it at the same time. It's not like working in the cloud, kind of like Google, right? If you want to share it, if you click on the share button, you're going to get options to publish it to the web. You can send it to Google Drive. If you click publish, you can send it to Classroom. We'll show you that in a minute with another tool. Or in fact, maybe let's just do it right now. That'll speed things up a little bit later. So I've clicked publish. I can put it in Microsoft Teams, Classroom, Twitter, Facebook. I can copy the link and share it with someone. And I can also click download and choose PNG, PDF, or JPEG, and then I can download a copy of it. Okay, now obviously I'd put a little bit more time into this if I was creating a post, but I want to come back to it later. So I'm going to put Halloween, and I'm going to tap on that because I've given my name, a title to this, and I'm going to go back to my projects. And so let me go back to where it is here. My projects come up here. Sorry. You notice here it's got post. So I'm going to click on my little ellipse here. And if I want to make a poster that looks the same but with different elements and make different, like duplicate copies with a similar theme, I can duplicate it. I can make a template out of it, right? Instead of even just duplicating it. If I want, I can publish it again from here. I can also move it around and put it in different, different folders and that kind of thing. So look at the ellipse and kind of play around with it. So I'm going to go back to my plus button here, but let's go back home just as a reminder. Remember, you can use templates. You've got collage templates you can use. If we had 1 hour on Spark Post, we'd create something. But so anyway, there's lots of templates, or you can work from scratch. Okay, here are some examples of ones I've been working on from scratch, actually. So next, I want to show you Adobe Spark Video because it is quite it's quite fun to use. Actually, I really like it. I want to come back to 2 examples of Adobe Spark Video. So when you get the link to this slides deck, go down to Adobe Spark Video. It's slide number 13. And you're going to see 4 different examples. I'm going to quickly show you 2 right now. Okay, so here is an example of an Adobe Spark video I made as a demonstration of what I want my students to do, right? Now, the audio is not going to sound too good here because I haven't gone to a Chrome tab. We had trouble with that earlier. But just give this a lesson. And I made this for my students to get an understanding of what I wanted them to do for their assignment. Okay, so you saw how quick that transition was, right? If we were to mouse over, you saw that we had, bars kind of come in. In fact, if we go from there, close, things kind of move around. There's no kind of coding to do with that. It's all done for you. Here's an example one of my students created. So let's start with, I think, right from here, perhaps. I'll start right from there. Oops, maybe we should start right here, and I've got her muted, sorry. Okay, she talks a little bit longer in there, but the idea is that all the motions and the animations are really, really simple. So when you're in your dashboard, okay, it says, this tool looks super fun to work around. Harpreet, it really is fun. And my students today, they were like, oh, this is actually quite cool. Yeah, we can do this. No complaining at all from my students. Yeah, and Roshina says she had a hard time changing the background. I'll jump in and explain how to do that. I'm just trying to go really quickly here, simply because we're limited in time a little bit. We could spend like 4 hours on this stuff. So when you're creating a video, when you're in your dashboard, it is a slideshow that you want to tap on. So let's tap on the slideshow. I'm going to put Halloween history. And Halloween has 2 L's, as we know. So I've gone in and I've tapped my title. So my title is going to be Halloween history, right? But you've got choices. You've got these different templates that you could use. You can go right on over and you could choose, pick this one, like make your own from scratch. I'm going to just choose the little orange bar at the bottom and start from scratch. I always do that. I don't know why. And it's going to take a moment for it to load. Again, it works in the cloud, but it is a pretty heavy program. So it's going to take time to load, but that's okay. And let's see, we got, yes, wonderful and cool tool with Shirley Explorer. Yeah, I'm telling you, Adobe Spark is great. I would argue that even elementary school students can use this tool. Now, you've got your quick tips to get started in a tutorial video. You can click the button and get rid of it if you want. I'm going with okay, I'm ready. So here is what the interface for Adobe Spark Video looks like. First, you have your only 4 tabs at the top, right? So I know mine's going to be Halloween. So I could use, for each of these panels, I can use a different layout. So I could start with a full screen, then I could use a split screen, and then a caption, then a title, right? So I can choose a theme and think about, what do I want my theme to be, right? Do I want title? That's an example of that cartoon one I showed you. Elevate. If you look at the other ones, you can play. The whole point is there's not a lot. So your students and you won't spend a lot of time. I like Elevate. I'll use that. You're not going to spend a lot of time, trying to figure out all the transitions and what looks good and you focus on the job. And the job is to do, teach Halloween history really quickly. So what I'm going to do, so I've got my theme here. I've got my layout. I'm going to add an image. So I'm going to click on photo. I'm not going to add text right now. I'm not going to add a video. You could add a video if you want. And I could upload a photo. I could take one of me going like that. I'm going to find a free photo, though. In fact, I'm going to go Halloween graveyard, see what happens. Okay, look at that. I like that. So it's a nice landscape image. It's kind of cartoonish. So this is kind of a nice slide. And what I'm going to do is put a title on top of it. So I'm going to kind of go back to my layout here. I'm keeping it at full screen. Once this loads, I'm going to add text, and I'm going to say Halloween history. Now remember, I typed that before, but that was my title slide. I might want to make it a little bit bigger. I want to make it a little bit smaller. I actually kind of like that a little bit more. Now you can't do much to change the text, like bolding and that kind of thing. But again, the simplicity keeps you from freaking out trying to think too much. I want to find music now. I'm going to think now. I always find the background music's a little bit too loud, so I pull it down. You can add your own music. Maybe go to the YouTube audio library, not YouTube Music, YouTube audio library. Get free downloaded music, copyright free. You could go to Ben Sound or other places, but now let me look for something that might be good Halloween-y. Oh, horror movie. Look at that. So I'm going to tap that. And once it kind of loads, you can see it's kind of loading there. Let's see how it sounds. Okay, that's not too bad. That's not super spooky, but that's okay. So I'm going to go back to my layout, and now I'm going to add my first slide. So I go right here, and I'm going to set up all my images before I put my my voice in. So I'm going to choose a photo again, but I'm going to go with a split screen. Okay, so I'm going to click photo. Let's go with maybe jack-o'-lantern. I'm not sure how familiar you are with Halloween, but I'm going to go with this as theme jack-o'-lantern, maybe because I didn't put the hyphens in because I'm lazy. Excuse me. All right. Oh, I like that one because it kind of suits the dark nature of it, right? And so what I'm going to do is as that's loading, I'm going to hit plus, and I'm going to add some text. I could put 2 photos, but I'm going to put jack-o'-lanterns. Let me just get my hyphen in there. So jack-o'-lanterns were originally made from turnips, not pumpkins. Now bear with me. Pumpkins. I'm going to maybe make that a little bit bigger, and I tap out, and it's automatically going to put it in the middle for me, right? And I'm kind of liking. Now I'm going to add one more slide just to beef this up, make it look a little bit nicer. I'm going to stay with full screen for this one, okay? And I'm going to add a photo. Actually, let me go with caption, or yeah, we'll go with a caption. Put some words underneath. I'm going to go with a photo, and let me go with ghosts. And this one's kind of creepy. We'll go maybe with the same one that we had before. Yeah, we'll go with that. And so that's going to go in, and I'm going to hit thing, ghosts, come across all cultures. I'm not going to be perfect about this, so I'm just going to tap that. And yeah, I'm not really keen on that, so I'm going to go back with maybe this, and we'll see what happens. Is it going to change the text a little bit? Yeah, so I kind of like this. That's as big as it's going to go, but I'm going to stay with that, okay? So let's say I can click and drag these to reorganize. So now I want to add some audio, okay? So I've got my music, as you know. If I want to resize it and make it good for Instagram or something like that, I could do that. But I'm going to stick with widescreen. So now all I have to do with my earphones on and you could use like a Yeti microphone or your earbud microphone. And I'm just going to tap and hold. And then for each slide, talk. So I don't have to do like one full straight minute. I can pause, take a drink. So watch. Halloween history is fascinating and goes back over thousands of years. Okay, I can listen to it. Okay, so I like that. If I don't like it, all I have to do is click and record again. Let me go to my next slide. And you know what? I'm not going to put ghosts there. I'm going to put the jack-o'-lantern in there. So, I don't know why I double tap there. So now I'm going to go with the jack-o'-lantern. The jack-o'-lantern has a significantly interesting history where we actually use turnips to make the jack-o'-lantern, not a pumpkin. Now I've just realized that I need more time to speak. So what I'm going to do is go to my ellipse down here, and I'm going to tap duplicate. So now I've got a second slide. So now I'm going to go, in fact, I'm going to record this first one again. Jack-o'-lanterns were originally made from turnips. Why is this? And so 5 seconds is nice. I'm going to my next slide. I'm going to record. Well, people use turnips simply because pumpkins didn't exist in the British Isles. Okay, so now I could go through and show you, like the whole deal, but let's see what it looks like. We're going to hit preview here. So now we've got our 24 seconds. Okay, so you can see that I got a few little blips in there, so I have to kind of slow down, go back, close other apps kind of thing. It's usually pretty good, but the computer I'm using has a lot of memory used up. But okay, so like we were looking at Spark Post, you click on download, or you invite people to work on it with you. You click share and choose to publish it to Google Classroom and all these other places. The one thing that I do like is at the end of it, the credits are automatically going to show up. So if I was to click, now it might show up on preview here. Let me just go right to the end. No, so it's not going to show us there, but when you actually publish this, it will put the image credits in there for you, but you can also add your own credits, like, by your name or that kind of thing. And it says, yes, it's Visha. It's so easy to make, in video. Somebody had mentioned they can't hear the audio. That's because I'm using a separate tab. But you can definitely hear the audio when you hit preview. So you can. The one thing you want to do when you're using Spark Video is to remember, go up here and change the sound of the music, right? Bring it down. If you don't want to use it, just toggle over. Okay. I'm working on some tutorial videos that I'll put out there, and I'll tag GEG Delhi West. But Spark Video, it's pretty straightforward to use. So again, if you want to download it, it'll download to MP4, and then off you go, upload it to YouTube. When you click share and publish, you can pick your category, can it be in education and all that kind of thing. And then you're going to create the link. This means it's public in Adobe, right? So you're going to want to download it if you want to put it on YouTube or Vimeo or other platforms, which is completely fine. So I'm going to hit back to Spark because we only have a few minutes before we go into Q&A. We got about 10 or 11. Just trying to have a look here. Just prepared 2 videos. Wonderful learning. Yeah, it really is easy. So I want to show you Adobe Spark page now. All right. This is the last one of the 3. Just to come back to the slide deck. If you come down to slide number 15, I have 4 different samples you can look at. The first I'm going to show you is Know Your News, a lesson plan for online learning. So this is actually for teachers. So I talk about how you welcome students, what you might want to do. And then I talk about what activity you can use. Then I've got a button that looks at 2 different videos. So if you click on these, what they'll do is take you to the videos. And as you scroll down, can you see how these things are just kind of blending together, right? It's pretty cool. And so this is just a basic Adobe Spark page. This is a photo gallery in page. Basically, this is a lesson plan. And you can see here that the credits with all the images automatically are in there. And that's not letting me do that right now. Sorry. But so I don't have to worry about copyright because Adobe does it for me. Here's an example of some work my students were doing, that theme of conflict again. And so I created, like the introduction and this, and I invited them in one at a time. And they took a write-up that they had created based on this video that they researched and made. Now, this is my image, but these are all uploaded to my school YouTube channel. But now we've got a class page where we can look at their work and some important debates that are happening around the world. This is a work in progress. I got to take some of the other stuff and get it up there. But here's an example of where I can take student work and put it all in one place. I did this with Google Earth. I did it with Google My Maps, and I'm doing it with Adobe as well. Why? Because looking at it in different ways is more appealing. And, you know, it's easier to look at a Spark page, for example, from your phone than, say, Google Earth kind of thing. But it really depends on your platform. So the question is, how do you make it? So let's go back. Just checking for any comments in here. And Jazia, thank you. Yeah, you made 2 videos, and yeah, it's pretty cool, you know, for learning, right? So again, you're in your dashboard, right? And my presentation is what you want to create a web page. So I'm going to click on that, and we'll just wait for it to load. And remember, we're going to go with that theme, Halloween history. I might actually continue on with this theme because I'm working on some Halloween stuff. So where did it come from? Or where did the celebration or the holiday come from? Now, you notice I don't have anything back here, right? So that's the very first thing I'm going to do is click my plus button, and I can only choose a photo. It's got to be a photo, so you can add your own and upload your own. I'm going to go with Halloween graveyard again. Because I want to be consistent, right? I want the same thing. There's that same picture. I know it's copyright free. It's going to go down to the bottom, and I know it's going to look good. And if I put a video together, I've got the same picture in my video that I have in my on my web page. And even if I want to make posters, it can be that too. So here's my intro thing. To begin with, I think I'll add text. I'm going to center it so you can see you don't have lots of options. Paste Halloween history here. If we had more time, I'd dig up something that I've got online, but here's where I would put kind of a description, right? Let's see. I wonder if I do have time. We're going to go story. Hold on one sec. Story, Halloween, social studies, samurai. I might just copy and paste from my own work here. Just so you can get an idea of how it kind of builds, because you can copy and paste. This is my Satori page here, folks. So the story of Halloween. I'm just going to steal from myself because I did research these. All right, so I'm going to take this, copy that. Going to go back in here, and let me tap here and kind of put that in the middle. This I want to stand out, so I highlight it and bold it. So I'm going to keep adding stuff, right? So here I'm going to add, let's say maybe split layout. We'll start with that. So I'm going to add an image. I'm going to go with ghosts again. Or let's see, we went with Halloween ghost. Let's go in here. I'm going to go real quick. Yeah, let's go with that same one. Okay, and I'm going to go back to my Satori as I'm stealing from myself. And where did we get the ghosts? Bear with me. Where did witches come from? Jack-o'-lanterns. Oh, jack-o'-lanterns might be the one to go with. Let me highlight that. Why do we carve jack-o'-lanterns? You know what? I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to replace it. Notice I clicked, and I can replace jack-o'-lantern. Okay, I'm going to click on that one, the same image. And now I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to add my text. Okay. And so look at that. All right. So I've got these nice things here. Let's say I got a video here. I'm going to right click and copy the video URL. I'm going to add a button. Now I could add a video, but I think more on, Halloween, I'll just say for now because of the time. And I'm going to put it in the middle. I'm going to click save. And now when they click this button, it's going to take them out. If I click on it here, I can edit or delete it. But if I wanted to, I could also just click the button, add the link to the video, and put it in there. If I want here, I could make it a really big video, right? But I want to show you the glide show. So I'm going to add photos to the glide show. Let's go with, the same one, jack-o'-lantern. Halloween graveyard. Still looking at the time here. I hope I'm not going too fast for you, but there are tutorials online here. Let's go with, let's switch graveyard. Looks kind of spooky. That one looks a little bit spooky. Let's see. I want to add another one. Let's go with ghost again. Okay, let's go with that one and that one. Notice I'm adding a whole bunch. Now I'm going to go up and click save. And what it has now is a slideshow with all these different images. All I have to do is add my text. So my first thing there is a jack-o'-lantern. So I'm going to click here and I'm just going to add that same text just so you, whoops, just so you can see what it looks like. I'm going to go here. Yeah, I'm just going to throw in random text so you can see what it looks like here. Yeah, text, boom. Let's say I want to put in like an escape room. Let's go with this. I'm going to copy a link here, copy link address. Let's say I want to put a button. I'm going to put a button. Quiz. Let's put the quiz in there. And then I'm going to put the link and I'm going to put it here. And now I've got a quiz embedded. Let me just, for the sake of time, we got a whole 4 minutes. So we're doing okay. Let's go with witches. Where do witches come from? Yeah, let me just throw that in. Are you excited? Yeah, all right, I am, because I love this thing. All right, and if I want, I could even put a photo in here. Let's grab another photo. Let's go with, just for the sake of spookiness. Okay, and I think we have most of our glide show. Let me get one more thing in there. Let's go with ghost stories. Yeah, we'll put that in. See how I'm excited. So you notice I'm really, it's the choices are so limited that it is so straightforward, right? And again, all right, so now let's just click present. And I'm going to use my, let's see, great tool. Thanks, Emmett. Again, waiting for it to load because Adobe is pretty powerful, so it does take time to load. And notice I've got my bar here on the side, so I can actually use my arrows to use it as a presentation. So not only is it something I can put on, as a web page, but I can also use it to present in my class if I want. Notice here too, the links are active. So each time you go to like that little new element there, right? There are the credits in there for me. Let me close that. Now to preview it and see what it would look like as a web page, I click preview, let it load. And so now I'm just scrolling like this. And you notice it's got that nice smooth feel. Now you could put in a photo collage as well, but we don't really have a lot of time, just 2 minutes left. But doesn't that look pretty nice, right? It looks pretty good. Let me close it. Same idea. If you want to collaborate with somebody, you click the share, but the add a person icon. Click share and then publish and share the link, again, to Microsoft Teams, Google Classroom, all these other places. If you want to see people to see it, and you got to publish it, right? So if you go to your settings here, you can show the header and the footer, which is like this top part, and then also the credits at the bottom. You can track it with Google Analytics. Play around. There's other things you can do. So I want to go out. So I'm going to click back here on my home button. And so let's see. Now that I've made a few things, now we're going to go with 10 minutes of Q&A here kind of thing if people have it. But you notice I've got these projects made. So you can see I've got a post because the Halloween thing says post in green. And then we got the video, which says Halloween history video. And then here we got page, right? So that's the web page. So now I want to organize these things, right? So let me click on that. Let's see. Do I want to publish and invite it? No. I think I want to move it. So I'm going to move it. And I'm going to create a new folder, actually. I'm going to make this my demo folder. Oh, or actually, you know what? I'm going to call it stories folder. Yeah, I'm going to create that. And should go in there. There we go. Take a moment. So I'm going to click move here. And so now I'm going to do the same thing with these. I'm going to click over my ellipse. I'm going to choose move. And I'm going to put it in stories. And I'm going to put this one in stories because I think I'm actually going to use these and make some stuff with them. I've got a holiday coming up. So Now, when you mouse over, you see the edit icon, the pen come up. So you just got to click there and it'll open up and it'll edit for you. I don't like this one right here. I was doing a demo, so I'm going to click on the ellipse and I'm just going to delete. Now, if we don't have questions, I'm going to talk about the Adobe Education Exchange. But for now, I'm going to stop sharing, excuse me, my screen. Let's go back to StreamYard here. And essentially, that's it. That's Adobe Spark. Post, video, and page. Easy for kids to use, easy for teachers to use. Very versatile. I absolutely love it. So let's see if we have any questions. And if not, maybe we can talk about becoming certified.
Did you find some questions? Are there questions by the audience?
Yes, there
What
was one question
appreciation?
in graphics while Nate, you were telling about graphics. So there were two queries: how to change the background. Some are not able to
Yes.
change the background.
Let me, I'm opening it up right now. And yeah, this has gotten tricky. Actually, maybe I'll just share my screen again right now. Probably shouldn't have not done that. But okay, let me just hide that and had to wait for this. Now I've opened that same thing. Okay. Okay, so I've opened it up here, right? And you see on the left here where it says background. If I click on that, right, what I can do is kind of change. Oh, can you see me there or?
No, I can't see. Yeah. Now it's visible. Yeah, please
Yeah,
carry
you
on.
can. Okay, great. So I've got that same one opened up here, right? The one I was working on earlier. And I've got my color schemes. I've got animations. If you're making any kind of animated thing, like, things zooming in, that would be obviously a graphic image that you put on the web. Here we've got the background, right? And what you can do is change the background by putting in grids and things like that. There really is a lot in Adobe Spark Post, so I didn't get a chance to show you this stuff. So what you can do is click on that, and what you should be able to do, all right, so that's where you can find some other stuff. Now, if you click here, you notice I have a background that I put in, that ghost thing. This one, I should be able to choose my image, and let me go here. And let me change that. Yeah, it gets kind of tricky, right? So you see it's changed the color, but it's not allowing me to get, the grouping. So what I'm going to do is ungroup this stuff. Okay, so we see here it says ungroup. Let me do that. And so now you see all these different elements that it has in here. I'm going to tap out of that. And I'm going to try to find that element. I'm going to click that. So do you see how I deleted that starry kind of thing? So it says to me that the background was actually a number of different things. So let me click on that and see how that deleted. And let me click on this and see how that deleted. So basically what happened is my background images were grouped together and locked. So let me click undo, undo, undo. And so again, I'm going to click on background here and then I'm going to tap out. So that doesn't allow me. And I'm going to try to find where, okay. Oh, I ungrouped them actually. So, there we go. So now I found that this is a group. It's called a grouping with these different things. So I'm going to click ungroup. And just one more time, I'm going to click delete. I'm going to tap on the other member of that group. I'm going to click delete. And I'm going to click delete. So that's how you can get rid of the background. And now I have this other background. This one, I think I'm going to, edit or cut out. Okay. So anyway, you can, let me take that out. Actually, I was just cutting that out. So again, you want to play with it a bit. I can see that I've got a grouping in there. I'm going to delete that. And this, I use the transparency feature. So I think I'm going to get rid of that as well. I'm just going to tap it and get rid of it. Let me replace it. And then I can choose whatever, image I kind of want. Go with the same one here.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, so let me get out of that actually, because I think it's answered the question. Again, I could go on and on and on. There's just, you got to play around a little bit, and then
And
you'll
there
get
is
used
one
to it.
more query. Can we add watermark?
Yes, you can. Now you can add your brand and it's shown at the very bottom. In Adobe Spark, you can make your own brand. And then whenever you make something, it'll ask you, do you want to add your brand? So yes, you can do that and put a watermark in things. And that's probably because you don't want people copying your stuff, or if you want to brand yourself, right? I think for the free version, you can do it, but I'm not 100% sure, to be honest with you. If you have a paid account, you definitely, or a license, you can create a brand. But I think you can with your own, with a free private account. I'm pretty sure you can. You can remove the watermark too if they put one in there for you.
All right. And is it a paid version? Like the features which you were showing right now, the viewers are asking, is it
Yes.
for a paid version?
We're in my Adobe Education Leader account right now. So yes, it was the paid version. You'll notice the things that you can't do in the free version when they have a little yellow banner on it, like a little yellow kind of coat of arms thing. But trust me, there's a lot you can do with Adobe Spark. With just the free stuff. Trust me, it's all you need. It really,
Yes.
really is. I used it for like a year and a bit before I became an AEL, and I was just loving it. So.
In fact, I have one question, or rather, I would say I was earlier using Canva, right? And that for creating some banners, and the features which you have shown just now, they are really, I mean, wonderful, and particularly about the page. I mean, I found that very similar to the Google Sites as such, not directly comparable with that, but really a wonderful. So I'm going to explore specifically Spark page. I really
Yeah.
like the basic idea about the page.
I think it's a matter of things like Canva and Google Sites or Google Tools and Adobe, everything has like a place, right? So it's like when I
Yeah,
make my YouTube thumbnails, I always make them on Adobe now, right? Because I can get the exact dimensions that I want. Mind you, Google Slides is fine for that too. It depends on what you're doing, right?
true.
Right. It was a
Feedback
great session,
is already
Neet.
shared.
Thank you,
Amazing
Panna.
session. You have got so much to share, and I'm also definitely going to explore Adobe Spark,
And very
and
Please
soon we are going
especially
to
do.
invite you for
that
our future
creating a
session.
brand and making own logo, and especially adding your voice is really cool because it gives a personal touch to the video.
Yeah,
Yeah, and you know what I like too is that it's really easy to use. You don't have ads like Spark Post. I think you could spend a lot of time digging into,
Yes.
post, but page and video. Even kids aren't going to waste time like, oh, how do I do? What transition should I use, or should I do that? They focus on their assignment and the content and the message, and then they can quickly create the video, right? So, and they can still be creative and have their voice. I just think there's so many great things about it, to be honest. Thank
yeah,
you, Yardley.
exactly. A lot to be shared, of course, and I'm hope that in future definitely we are going to collaborate with you, and definitely we'll be having some more hands-on and the similar session, and specifically on the Google Earth, because I know you are specialized in
I love
Google Earth.
Earth. Yep, I
We'll
love Earth.
loving to have a special session on that also from you. And
I'd
for the
love to.
audience here who are watching us right now, please fill up the feedback come your participation certificate form. This is very, very important, essential for us to grow. Anything else we are missing, Nidhi, in a chat box? Please check this out once again.
Yes, yes. Everybody is appreciating. They all are very keen to explore this tool. So I can see all the comments. Wonderful session. A lot of takeaways today.
I was just replying to everybody. So,
Yes.
So thank you, Nate, for this
okay.
wonderful
So
session.
let me add this. So
Yeah,
everybody,
yeah,
if you
please.
use Adobe Spark to create anything, use the hashtag Adobe EDU Creative, right? Adobe. I'm going to put this in our private chat, and Adobe EDU Creative. Put stuff out there. If you want to become like an Adobe Creative Educator, I'm sure Needy and Amit will tell everyone how to do that. It's well worth it, trust me. And maybe in the future become an Adobe Education Leader if you want. But become a level 2. They'll send you a T-shirt, and you'll meet a lot of cool people. Adobe
That's
Great,
great.
EDU
great.
Creative.
Wonderful. I'm definitely going to, try it out and wear the same T-shirt, Adobe Creative Educator. That's a great feeling, I'm sure.
And then you can do the
So,
session.
yes. So I think there are no more queries over here, as I can see in the chat box.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Nate, for joining in. And really, it was a great session. And we have got to know that Adobe Spark is such a creative tool, and we can make captivating videos and graphics. And as I'm a maths teacher, so making flashcards, and social science teachers, they can create also, wonderful. It's a wonderful tool. And thank you so much for sharing with all of us.
Thank you
So
for
happy
having me.
World Teachers Day to all of you, all the viewers. Thank you very much for joining GD Daily West. Hope to have a good association with each and every one of you in near future. Thank you. Great day. Signing off now.
Bye
Namaskar.
bye.
Yeah.
Bye
Sayonara.
Jai
bye.
Hind, Jai Bharat.
Great.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Nate. Thank you.